Hello, and welcome back to more Fallout New Vegas.
When I got this assignment, I was hoping there'd be more gambling.
Can you, like... How can he see behind him? Like, honestly. Damn it. Alright, fine, I won't steal. I'll leave their ammo boxes alone for now. I suppose. Alright. Oh, this used to be an airport, huh? Interesting. Terminal buildings. God knows I love terminals. Honestly, like... I hate airplanes so much, yet I've ridden on so many. It's ridiculous. I suppose it's my fault when I voluntarily decide to go, you know, away from home. He's downstairs, isn't he? Yeah, he's like under me. Oh, Dr. What's-His-Face? Where are you? Like... through here. Aha!
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
What? Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful. Straight to it then. Have you signed the release forms? No? Doesn't matter. We'll keep that to ourselves.
What is he talking about?
Vault 22. Where to begin?
I'm listening.
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water, and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible?
No, I lost my mouse for a second. Nothing is impossible.
Precisely. Science has proven that truth 1,000 times over. But how many wasteland savages believe it? Present company accepted, of course. The bounty I described to you is no idle fantasy. It exists in primitive form only a few miles from where we stand. We need only reach out and unlock its secret. For that, the OSI needs you.
Wait a minute, does Vault 22 have a GEC? Tell me more.
Good. I thought I sensed the kindred soul in you, beneath the wasteland veneer. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlock the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends
I think I remember
them. No
this.
one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Okay, I'll do it.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts. Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Anything else I should know?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
You don't need to be so condescending.
Oh?
Never mind. Goodbye. Well, I still need to deliver. I have an invoice for you from Alice McLafferty.
From Alice? I'll see that she's paid right away. Crimson Caravan runs a tight operation. Even out here in the waste, wouldn't do to keep them waiting. Was there anything else? Or were you just here about the invoice?
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah, unfortunately or unfortunately...
Did Dr. Hildern... Whoa. This really isn't any of my business, but Did he give you a job?
Why so interested?
Not interested. More concerned. It's just... You're not the first person he sent to Vault 22. And I know he'd never tell you. There were a lot of mercs. One after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keely. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect. But she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
No, ma'am.
But now he's hired you. Which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keely, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keely and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Alright, I'll look for her since I'm going there anyways.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
No, okay.
Of course.
Can you tell me anything else about Keely?
Keely's brilliant. An absolute genius. She plays at being mean, but it's all a front. When you've lived as long as she has, you get defensive around new people. Who wants to make a friend when you know you'll outlive them?
Wait, what? Exactly how old is Keely?
I couldn't get her to say, but she talked about the war. The Great War, when the bombs fell, like she'd been there. So, I'm guessing pretty old.
What?
200 years? Maybe more.
Is she human? What? He did not. He didn't mention anything about the followers of the apocalypse. How did Keely and Hildern get along?
Like a Brahmin and a Deathclaw, though I'm not sure which would be which. Bad analogy, maybe. They're both Deathclaws in their way. Keely hates Hildern. She says he's more politician than scientist, and gets in the way of true discovery. And Hildern hates Keely because... well, because every time they meet, she makes him look like an ass. In front of important people, usually.
Yeah, what exactly do you do around here?
Head researcher. Mostly on the dam project, but I help out on other things when they need me. Gotta be flexible.
Of course.
The director? He's very well-spoken and knowledgeable.
Seem focused on results, maybe not so much on people.
He's not what you'd call warm, unless he wants something from you. And even then, it's kind of a cold warm. Most of the time, I focus on the science and try to forget him. He doesn't get mixed up in any actual work, though he tells people that he does.
Right. So Dr. Hildern takes credit for your work.
He sure does. Everyone knows it. I've just got to endure this job until the project is finished. But abandoning Keely, he crossed a line. Taking credit for other people's work is one thing. Sending people to die in the waste is another. If Hildern tries to recruit any more mercs, I'm gonna warn them. What can he do to me? I'm the only one who can run this lab.
I see. Even though he didn't mention followers of the apocalypse, I'm gonna ask her about this anyways, just cause I wanna know.
My father used to say good things about them, but that was years ago. Back when they teach farmers and ranchers about crop rotation and the like. Nowadays, they've changed. They're doing what they can to discredit the NCR, give us a bad name with the locals. Dr. Hildern trained with them years ago. Not me, though. I'm an OSI girl.
What is OSI? I don't even know. Maybe I should have asked Dr. Hildern.
It's foul, to tell the truth. Most people try to get what they can from the outside, even if it's just a smuggled candy bar now and then. Contreras is a genius. He can find almost anything you'd want. Takes caps to get him motivated, though. He won't do a thing for free.
I see. Well, goodbye.
Right.
Actually, I'm gonna go back to him and ask... Whoa, I'm on top of him.
Yes? Something else you need?
I'm not gonna tell him that, actually. I don't want to expose myself like that.
Oh.
Tell me more about the OSI.
The Office of Science and Industry. It's a rather expansive topic. I could talk for hours, but I'm sure I'd bore you. Suffice to say, we are the leading edge of the NCR. Our work focuses on practical matters, medicine, engineering, biology. The dam, for instance. OSI routes its energy supply to our cities in the West. That's only one responsibility of this office.
Right, and you said you were the director of this thing?
Director of the entire OSI? Me? If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to plant seditious ideas in my head. No, I direct our eastern operations. I've been responsible for squeezing unprecedented levels of power from the dam. I'm also confronting the problem of food production in what little spare time I have. But I've found some promising leads. Yes, with the assistance of my team, of course.
No, of course.
Not yet, but our government understands the value of proactive thought. Our studies project an imbalance between production and consumption. Or, for a layman such as yourself, not enough food, too many mouths to feed. Mass starvation in a decade or so.
Right.
We aid some programs the Republic has sponsored involving sharecropper farms in the area. But those haven't panned out too well from what I hear. There have been complaints about the amount of water we're supplying. But those are just excuses for lack of diligence, I'm sure.
I didn't just steal from them. No, what are you talking about?
Directly? No. But we attempt to maximize its output. You have no idea how difficult it is to provide power to an entire nation. I also have high hopes for our Helios 1 facility. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for the 2 scientists who are working there. So far, they've only managed to achieve 1% power output. I'd send help if I could spare the personnel.
Oh, again, sorry about the coughing. Yeah.
Williams is an admirable researcher. If she wasn't, I'd have terminated her contract, and she'd be begging for work from my former employers. Williams has a tendency to feel before she thinks. Not in the lab, but everywhere else. That might be forgivable if she kept her concerns to herself, but she doesn't. Not in front of her peers, not even with contractors like yourself. That kind of behavior can undermine morale. She convinced my last contractor to quit. Same way she tried
Oh,
with
so you heard.
Probably didn't tell you that, did she?
You didn't always work for the OSI?
No. The OSI hasn't been around for very long. I received my training elsewhere.
So this is what I was supposed to follow. So who did train you?
Before the bombs, I might have studied at any number of colleges, universities. They gave a man a chance to advance himself, or so I've heard. But after the bombs, until a few years ago, anyone with half a brain had one choice: the followers of the apocalypse. Didn't matter if you agreed with them or not. You either played along or you were turned away.
What about the Brotherhood of Steel? Are they not here? Or are they just on the East Coast? Whoa, mouse, please stop doing that. And what do the followers believe?
Knowledge for knowledge's sake. A society of equals. They purport to be intelligent people, and then they spout this old world dogma. Exactly right. Imagine what the followers could have accomplished if they were properly motivated, if they had a unified purpose. Those of us who founded the OSI, we wanted to put our knowledge to work, and we have to some degree. But the execs at OSI Central, they're still bound to the old ideas, society of equals and all that. There's still too little direction. If I can make real breakthroughs here, show the President what can be done when junior researchers are kept in line, kept focused on task. Who knows? Maybe I'll be sitting in OSI Central in a few years' time, and there'll be no more coddling of free spirits like our friend Williams.
Interesting. Well, goodbye. Again. Well, that was very interesting, but... Well... What is she doing? Oh, okay. I didn't see the microscope there. May I steal? Yes, I can. Hello.
I'm usually good with faces, but I don't think I've seen you here before. What brings you to Camp McCarran?
Yeah, I'm up for hire if you need extra manpower.
There are a lot of things I can't spare troops for right now. If you can help us, we can definitely pay you for your work.
Awesome.
You don't cook by any chance, do you?
No.
Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word.
The fiends.
As in chem fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them, and they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen.
Oh, it's so sad. Well, I'll go to Vault 3 and I'll see if I can find your ranger.
That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have
Oh,
second
don't
thoughts,
worry.
no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here.
Friends in power? Alright, well... Yeah, let me have a go.